Hi guys, it's Michelle and Deception Bytes, and I am picking up from where I left off with the Q post. Q has not posted anything new. However, I am behind because I uploaded on March 28th, and Q actually posted after I had uploaded that video, and he again posted something on the 29th, and it is now the 30th, and it is Good Friday. The day that Christ was crucified, and it is Passover if you're Jewish, and it's 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let's get caught up with these so that if and when Q drops more, we will be able to start fresh with those. All right, now this is the first one that I missed, and this is March 28th. And he gives us a link to an article on Fox News, and he says, "Wonder who leaked this? Fire in the hole, Q." Well, obviously Q knows exactly who leaked it, and it was somebody on their side, and he knows that this will cause quite a sensation, and that's why he says fire in the hole, which I love that humor, by the way. So let's go take a look at that. And sorry, just closing all this stuff. All right, now this says documents suggest possible coordination between, hang on here, it was a Fox News alert. Documents suggest possible coordination between the CIA, FBI, Obama White House, and Dem officials early in Trump Russia probe investigators. So this is not new to us. None of this is new to us. We've known this now for a while because Q told us, and we wouldn't have known if Q had not told us. So for all of the people that are quick to jump on the fact that Q is several people and not who he says he is, and that it's a LARP and so forth, this suggests otherwise, because we have had information for a very long time, those of us that have been following Q, that is now just coming out in the news. And it's not news to us. So that should tell you something. Nothing here is news to me. And it shouldn't be to you either if you've been following Q. So I don't think I'm going to go through and read all this. I mean, we already know this. I'm just going to, read this first part just for some clarity there. Newly uncovered text messages between FBI officials Peter Strzok and Lisa Page suggest a possible coordination between high-ranking officials at the Obama White House, CIA, FBI, Justice Department, and former state Democratic leader in the early stages of the investigation into alleged collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia, according to GOP congressional investigators on Wednesday. The investigators say the information provided to Fox News strongly suggests coordination between former President Barack Obama's chief of staff, Dennis McDonough, then Senate Democratic leader Harry Reid, and CIA Director John Brennan, which they say would contradict the Obama administration's public stance about its hand in the process. And of course it would contradict the official stand or the public stance because they're lying. So yeah, we know this already, and it's not news to us. And it's interesting to see it coming out now. At least it's coming out. So, awesome. Let's go back. Now, the next one is an anon writes to Q in reference to the to this right here, and says, "Seeing a lot of your leaks lately, friend. Good to have a friend leaker for once." And they're making, he's alluding to the fact, he or she, this anon, is alluding to the fact that, of course, there's been leaks coming out of the White House forever, and now it seems like there are no leaks. And I think it's because Trump has fixed the leaks, and there's just not stuff coming out, and the stuff that is coming out is leaked on purpose. So Q responds to this person, and he directs it towards this post and says, Hillary Rodham Clinton, 2/12/09. Now, I did look that up. It sounded familiar, but it was the date that Hillary was sworn into office as Secretary of State. I don't know why that would sound familiar to me, but that's when she was sworn into office. And there's some other things that happened around that date as well. But I think that's what he's talking about. And he said very bad. And I think just because this person is talking about leakers, that he's saying she was a very bad leaker. That's how I take that. If somebody else has a different take on that, I would love to hear it in the comments below. I do get a lot of information from you guys, and as well, sometimes I'm wrong and you correct me, and I appreciate that. I really actually do. Some people get upset if you try and correct them, but I really want you to correct me because I don't want misinformation out there, and because I'm just one person, I make mistakes. So I think that's great when someone corrects me. Like, for example, I thought CM stood for something else, and somebody said, well, several people actually said it's Code Monkey, and then all of a sudden I went, oh, how could it not have been Code Monkey? So I appreciate it. Anyway, let's go on to the next one. And this is Q posting again, and he says, Great Awakenings is dead, Q. Meaning they were locked out of their board temporarily. I don't know if they still are. I would assume not. But there was some issues there with the board. Now, actually, it's in reference to this because this Anon was directing it to Q and said, did you see Code Monkey's message? And Q down here is acknowledging, yeah, I got it. Great Awakenings is dead. That was the message, Q. So it was just an acknowledgement of that. Now, this is another Anon, and this was a little bit confusing to me because this Anon put Q down here as if it was coming from Q. So I don't know if this is Q or is not Q, but it's not Q's normal trip code. So I don't know. But this person is saying, Great Awakenings is dead. Check line 119, and then he lists the code. New board being routed. Thank you. Patriot. Q. So I don't know if that's Q or not, but it's somebody that knows what's wrong with the board because I used to code websites, and so, when you're looking for code, like there's lines, and something simple like having a $sign in the wrong place or whatever sign, a little dash or a space where there shouldn't be a space can throw off everything. So this person is saying check line 119. That's where the error is. Now either this should be in there or it should be taken out. That's what I gather from this. So this person is pointing to where the error is, and this could be Q or it could be another Q because we know it's a team. And people that keep saying, well, there's different Qs. Yes, there's different Qs. We know that. So anyway, and then Q responds to this person and just says Q, acknowledging that he saw it. So whether there were two Qs in there or whether this person meant thank you, Patriot Q, I don't know. So let's go on because it's not meant for us anyway, so it's really neither here nor there if we understand it or not. Wasn't meant for us. Now, the next one, March 28th, Q says, MSM talking about red pill versus blue pill. Matrix reference? Coincidence? Q. And of course, we know that Q has been making Matrix references from the beginning, and those of us in the Patriot community or the conspiracy community or the truth community have used that term for a very long time, being red-pilled. So anyway, and when he says MSM talking about red pill versus blue pill, I don't know where I saw it, but somewhere out there I did see something where they were talking about that. And I thought it was interesting, but I'm pretty sure it was Fox News, but I'm not exactly certain. So if anyone knows the exact video or whatever, obviously this was on TV. I don't have TV. I mean, I have TV. I just don't have it hooked up to cable or anything because nothing worth watching anyway. I get everything on the internet and read newspapers. So anyway, hang on. The next one is an anon. And this anon says, I am terrified to go to bed, but I have to. I have to work tomorrow. What if I wake up and everyone has moved to a new board? How will I know? I've been on this train since calm before the storm. I can't lose communication now. And so this person was feeling a little anxious that, Q might move and this person might not know how to, where to go or where he was. And Q responds and is responding to this person here and says, you are safe. They are terrified. Sleep well, Patriot. You elected us to keep you safe. We will not fail. Great awakenings will change. Notification will be made. Where we go one, we go all. Q. So that's just, to give us a little bit of peace of mind there. And I like that he said, you elected us to keep you safe. Because yes, indeed, we did. And it's about time that a politician realized that they work for us and we don't work for them. They are elected to work for us. And I think, in North America particularly, I think we've lost sight of that. I know we have here in Canada and we certainly have in the States. So it's nice to see them acknowledge the fact that, yeah, we work for you. So let's continue. Now, the final one that was posted, and this was posted on March 29th, yesterday, and this is just a link, and that he signs it Q, and it's a link to an article, so let's go take a look at what that is. And Q is just pointing out to us that this stuff is coming out in the news now. That is not the right article. Weird. National Review, Russia collusion, real story. Let's see if I can. That's odd that it took me there. That's not the right story. It's about Hillary. Well, I'll find it this way. I'll go to the Q board itself. There we go. And then Q, I missed that, I guess. It says truth. Q. More than one way to get the job done. Is it going to take me? What's it doing? Come on. Here it is. Now I've cut it up 3 times. Alrighty. This is it. This is what we want to see. Yay! The real collusion story. Oh, you mean we haven't got the real story? Well, we have. Those of us that have been following Q have the real story, and we've had it for a long time now. So we're way ahead of the 8 ball here. I don't even know what that means, ahead of the 8 ball. Yeah, because this stuff is just coming out now, and it's being touted as news, not news to us. So, in a textbook example of denial and projection, Trump foes in and out of government wove a sinister yarn meant to take him down. Isn't it wonderful to see this in print? It really, really is. And there was even, oh gosh, it was at the beginning of when Q started, within the first few months, there were people saying, I don't know if you heard this, but I had people emailing me stuff that Q was actually Hillary. I don't think so. That would make absolutely no sense whatsoever. Anyway, I think it's wonderful this is coming out. Barack Obama keeps a close watch on his emotions. I love Spock. Oh, Spock, sorry. Spock. Who's Spock? I loved Spock, he wrote in February 2015 in a presidential statement eulogizing Leonard Nimoy. Growing up in Hawaii, the young man, he grew up in Hawaii. Growing up in Hawaii, the young man, who would later be called No Drama Obama, really? Who called him that? Felt a special affinity for the Vulcan, first officer of the USS Enterprise. Long before being nerdy was cool, there was Leonard Nimoy, the eulogy continued. Leonard was Spock, cool, logical, big-eared, and level-headed. It is a rare occasion when Obama lets his Spock mask... Hang on here. I guess I can't stop that from... Okay. It is a rare occasion when Obama lets his Spock mask slip, but November 2nd, 2016 was just such a moment. 6 days before the presidential election, when addressing the Congressional Black Caucus, he stressed that the Republican candidate Donald Trump threatened hard-won achievements of blacks, tolerance, justice, good schools, ending mass incarceration, even democracy itself. There is one candidate who will advance those things, he said, his voice swelling with emotion, and there's another candidate whose defining principle, the central theme of his candidacy, is opposition to all that we've done. Yeah, pretty much. Now, sorry, I am like challenged today. There we go. The open display of emotion was new, but the theme of safeguarding his legacy was not. 2 months earlier, on July 5th, in Charlotte, North Carolina, Obama delivered his first stump speech for Hillary Clinton. He described his presidency as a leg in a relay race. Hillary Clinton had tried hard to pass affordable health care during Bill Clinton's administration, but she failed, and the relay baton fell to the ground. When Obama entered the White House, he picked it up. Now his leg of the race was coming to an end. I'm ready to pass the baton, he said, and I know that Hillary Clinton is going to take it. But he was less certain than he was letting on. Hillary Clinton was up in the polls, to be sure, but she was vulnerable. 3 weeks earlier, on June 15th, a cyber attacker fashioning himself as Guccifer II had published a cache of emails stolen from the Democratic National Committee. They proved a supporter of Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders had long alleged that the DNC had conspired with the Clinton campaign to undermine their candidate. Sanders was still withholding his endorsement of Clinton for president, even though her nomination as a Democratic candidate was now a foregone conclusion. At the very moment when Clinton had expected the Democratic Party to unite behind her, its deepest chasm seemed to be growing wider. In contrast to Clinton, Obama held some sway over the Sanders insurgents. He came to Charlotte to urge them to support Clinton against their shared enemy, the presumptive Republican nominee for president, Donald Trump. And the insurgency was not only Clinton vulnerability on Obama's mind. The insurgency was not the only Clinton vulnerability on Obama's mind. He had come to Charlotte in addition to deflate attention from the news conference that James Comey, the director of the FBI, had held that morning in Washington, D.C. The investigation into Hillary Clinton's use of private email server was complete. Comey announced that the FBI would recommend no criminal charges. That was the honey, but Comey administered it with a dose of vinegar. He dwelled on Clinton's mishandling of classified material in such detail that it sounded as if he was laying the foundation for an indictment. The decision not to charge Clinton, his statement signaled, was an exercise in prosecutorial restraint, not an exoneration. That's a hard word to say. From the perspective of the voters, Clinton's twin email travails, the hack of the DNC and the investigation into her server, were two faces of a single problem. Call it Clinton Inc. Sanders and Trump were painting Clinton as Wall Street's darling, the establishment candidate. She was the greatest defender and a prime beneficiary of a rigged political and financial system. Comey's statement had played directly into the hands of Sanders' insurgents. It left the distinct impression that laws are for the little people. They simply don't apply to Hillary Clinton because, well, she's Hillary Clinton, which points to Obama's third and final job at Charlotte, humanizing the Queen. I saw how she, humanizing the Dragon Queen, I saw how she treated everybody with respect, even the folks who aren't quote unquote important, Obama testified. Really? There's folks that aren't quite quote unquote important? I think that we're all important in the eyes of a good politician, right? Because they're working for us all, whether we have a name or not, whether we have money or not. Obama testified. He enlarged Clinton's humanity before the crowd because it was invisible to the naked eye. With his jacket and tie off, the cuffs of his sleeve turned, and a winning smile spread from ear to ear, Obama came to loan Hillary Clinton his common touch. Passing the baton to her was a team effort, however. It demanded hard work from countless enablers. These included not just Democrats, but also many Republicans who shared the conviction that Trump represented an extraordinary threat to our democracy. Desperate times call for desperate measures. To block Trump, Clinton supporters bent rules and broke laws. They went to surprising lengths to strengthen her while framing him, both in the sense of depicting him in a particular light and of planting evidence against him. Sorry, where am I here? Ooh. All right. Now, I wonder how long this is. I might just leave the... Yeah, this is long. And a lot of it we know. Whew, this is a very, very, very long article. There is no way I'm reading all this to you because you'll all be sound asleep. But I will leave it in the links for you. Because, wow, this goes through it all. I had not looked at this. This goes through all of it. Everything. Wow. Very, very interesting. It's a long read. A very long read. But I'm going to leave the link to this because I'm sure that you don't want to listen to me stumble through it. But it's interesting that this is coming out now. Now, actually, this was March 13th. So Q just directed us to it now. I don't know why. I haven't seen this before now, but I haven't. And anyway, interesting stuff. So there is stuff coming out now. The truth is coming out, and I do believe that there are those indictments that Q says that there are. I believe that they will be exercised. I believe that everything is going as, Q has said it is. And again, I would reiterate that because people seem to be completely misunderstanding what I'm saying, and other people that have listened to me all the time understand what I'm saying, but there are others that have misinterpreted it. I am not saying that I'm gung-ho for Q. However, I have not seen anything that Trump or Q are doing at this point that I disagree with. I think that they're taking down evil, taking out evil, and that's a good thing. My only concern is that we be cautious because when they start talking about a world peace and all this stuff, we know that that's not possible. So my only word is caution here, and that's that. But I do believe in Q. I don't believe it's a psyop, not in the traditional sense, at least. I think that, they're playing this very wisely because they're getting the patriots behind the plan, and I think that was a wise way to play this. So anyway, that's it for now. I have got to run because I'm going to a concert tonight, but I will come back. I'll check on the Q post tonight and will update you all if I find anything, and certainly we'll be watching it over the weekend. I'll probably post something tomorrow. If not Q, then something Q related, and I will hope that you guys have a wonderful weekend and rest well, stay safe.